Welcome back to the Wallace branch, episode number 16, and we are picking up exactly where we left off once again. And this is, I believe, Hank Williams. Hank Williams brought our local on in the last episode, but then we spent a little bit of time to basically drop off different cars from that train into this area. Actually, we're passing one of the areas where I should have been dropping off right now, but since Hank has actually got just... he's just got these reefers and some paper for Wallace. So the reefers are actually going just about a mile up ahead. So I think we're going to keep an eye on Hank. And then right in the background here, of course, we have our smelter area. And we've got a lot of ore cars. And we also have, we have these, I believe they're silver? Yeah, they're all silver, okay. So the silver can be dropped off at the smelter. I really should do sort of like an autopilot coupling here, but I'm not going to. And these lumber cars need to go to BHS, so Bunker Hill and Sullivan needs to get some lumber. So that will be right behind us in that little factory complex there. To the east of us, I should say. Didn't quite clear that. Okay, there we go. And definitely going to try to get as much done as we possibly can this turn, this 1 hour session, playthrough, whatever you want to call it. Without making some mistakes. Now I'm really picking up where I left off last time. And I think that's really going to help this session go a little bit more smoothly than the last couple times I played. And the reason is I definitely have noticed... Wait, is he struggling to get this train moving? Oh, it's because, yeah. Okay, now we're definitely going to want to rush back here because we probably overshot. Okay, hold on. Yes, we've overshot slightly. That's okay though. Not too bad. So Mullen Freight. You know what? We didn't overshoot. We're going the wrong place. I'm going to check to make sure that's true. But let's continue the schedule right now. Checking. Okay, UP. It's delivering paper for the Wallace warehouse, and then some fruit. Yes, fruit is going to Mullen. That's what we've got. Is it indeed? Yes, indeed, it is what we have. Now, we do have to actually do something at that warehouse that we just passed. It's just picking up 2 boxcars of general goods, but we can have one of these locomotives down here do that, and that'll be fine.
Detect your milepost 104.0.
104.0, and I think that is indicating that the Burlington Northern Local is just reaching the bottom of Lookout Pass on the east side. So it's still climbing up to the top of Lookout Pass. And we are definitely going to be having a look at that later this episode, but it takes a little while for them to get over the pass, of course.
Detector milepost 104.0. No defects. Total axles. 2.25. Page. Detector out.
Okay, I think we just want to do something like this. No, I didn't go far enough. Ah, that's the wrong track. I was just saying how having having a little bit more of a, yeah, let's put the hammer down. We're on a very steep grade there. Having a recent playthrough would really help. As to whether that's actually the case, though, is questionable. So yeah, let's have you drive to navigate to catalog freight. MI2. So we can get those general goods picked up. Okay, we're making progress here. Very slow progress. Too bad that we slowed down, actually. That's sandbagged us a little bit. There's no more locomotives in this area. However, a little bit up the river here, we do have our famous sand track. So let's, aha, and we also have our Cessna coming in, Donald Sutherland. Excellent. See how many tons we've got here. 1,000 tons. So we're at the edge of what we could realistically pull with this set. Gonna pop back, have another look. Where have we gotten to? Now, once we fill up this train, the sand track will be done. We do, I believe, need to get that sand to Silverton Bottles. So it's not, I don't believe it's going over the pass at this point, which is going to be very helpful for us. Okay, this time we actually do have the right switch. It's a very long switch, very high speed switch, even though it doesn't need to be. It's more needs to be that way because of the steep grade. But yeah, let's just put this on like I'm gonna let him just putz back there because there's absolutely no need for him to go fast. I do like the sound of this engine. As to whether I will make my own GP38-2, I'm not so sure. These are okay. And let's have a look at... you know, I heard something. I heard a suspicious noise, which seems to indicate that I kind of messed up here. I sent him on autopilot to go someplace that he basically could never have made it to. I should say she, since it's Jessica. So I'll tell you what, why don't we decouple here? And we're going to take this whole string down, and we only need 2 general goods. It doesn't matter which boxcar we fill up, you know. They are all the same. Okay, this is not good. This is good. This is good. That, of course, is good. I don't think we ever pulled that switch in any other direction than what it is. There, and same thing for this switch. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Good thing I was paying attention to that one, I would have to say. Just keep that at, yeah, we'll keep that at 39%, I think. And sorry for whipping it around, but we're managing 3 trains here. I think it's justified. You are moving very slowly, which is what we need. And then we have 2 more cars here. Yes, good. Now, I'm thinking that there may actually be a track mark on the other side of this. No, there's not. There should be, but there's not. Here's our beautiful BHS area. This is good because now we're going to get that locomotive out of the center of this string of cars. That'll be helpful. And these can all be filled up with lead, I believe. So let's see, 10 cars. So assuming that we get 2 of them filled with, that'll be 8. You know, I really do need to add a few people over here by the pool. I know it's a little bit far from the... it's a little bit far from the camera, but I need to add a few more people there, I think. Okay, keep on moving our little sand train. All right, shall we speed things up over here? I think we shall. I was just reading the Trains N3V newsletter, and it sounds like they're almost ready to come out with the new patch for trains that will have the new trains trees imposter system. And I really don't know how excited about that I am. If it improves performance, and I do have a lot of trees on this route. Of course, I don't have any of the new trees assets. I'm sure willing to replace them, though, if the performance improves. So it's good. It's definitely good that it's finally coming out, because it feels like it's been underway for almost the whole calendar year so far, 2025, that this has been worked on. So it seems like, though, there's some other priorities that I haven't heard any updates on for a while, and I'm really more eager about those, like the lighting, the skybox, those types of things are a pretty big priority for me personally. But yeah, if you look at all these mountains here that have trees all over them, and I think the LODs on these trees, because they're mostly STRMM or fir trees, and I think that for both, the LODs might be fairly good. I don't know for sure, though. My computer is about 3 years old at this point. I think I got a very high-end computer for that time, but no longer at the absolute bleeding edge of games machines. Not that I necessarily know. And it's definitely, it's nothing that I built myself. It is not a custom job. I'm not a games expert, that's for sure. As you can tell from the fact that I only play this one computer game. I think that's looking pretty darn good. And I'm going to decouple, and I'm going to pull back a little bit, just to make very certain we don't load any other cars. Okay, and that is our general goods pickup. And we need to go to Smelter Track 1, I believe. Yeah, Smelter Track 1 will pick up more lead. Okay, and Alan Alda is making progress through here. We're unloading cars furiously. Do we have action on the... Don't see anything yet for the Kellogg loading. But we can definitely go here to Smelterville track. Drive via Smelterville, Maine. There's a lot of track marks, I have got to say. Okay, so you are back here. So let's have you go to yard track. Smelterville yard track 4. Or we could just have you go couple with this car. All right, Tasha Yar is, we haven't seen her in the last episode, but Tasha Yar is still here at the Morning Mine. And I believe we are really down to the last little bit of what we need to get done in terms of collecting ore from the mines. I think that by just backing up, we can probably get all these cars full. We do have space there, I believe.
Detector milepost 111.0.
In the future, obviously these ore chutes are not really that long, not long enough to actually reach those ore cars. In the future, perhaps I would consider doing the particle effects here, but yeah, it's not, doesn't work perfectly, I would have to say. Eagle is here. Hello. Welcome back.
Detector milepost 111.0. No defects. Total axles 9.2. Train speed 2.
So we can tag these. It's really unnecessary to tag something this obvious. But, oh yeah, since that one is empty. Okay, here we go. Now we can tag it. Smelter or MI2. Eagle says, so when is this being released as a DLC? Well, as you know, I have been working more on the cab project. So I have basically been making only small tweaks to the route. And congratulations, by the way, on the Major Islands DLC being released, fully released, I guess, and available. I'm gonna grab that, obviously. I've already played it, of course. And it was also featured in the N3V newsletter, which is also good. Both things that are worthy of mention in my book. So get Tasha Yar to put the caboose on the rear end of this train. It's a heavy train, so you need that caboose even though it's a very short train. And that's what we have, these little weird spur tracks here, I guess. I don't really know what they were for because I just copied them from the Sanborn insurance maps. But yeah, I mean, this one probably would pick up freight. But what this one is for, I have no idea. This one, I guess this one could be for like a locomotive or something. Or maybe just a work car or something like that. It seems like more of a storage track. You don't need to see the labels here. That should be good enough. So as to when this could be released as a DLC, I would say target the end of this year. Because it's probably going to take a while before I really get back to getting the assets onto the DLS. And I don't know actually how that works, because I put most of the buildings on the DLS, but I've held back on adding a bunch of like the little things that are sort of like would have no value to anybody except those people with this route. Like the little signs that say Kellogg or whatever. Like, I don't know if you have to put those on the DLS, or do you put them in some sort of package that you distribute to people? Why does it say no driver? Okay. But yeah, in terms of my trains to-do list, it's really right now all about locomotives and locomotive cabs, and especially improving and then releasing the locomotives that I have already made, which is about 5 or 6 at this point. And, when I started this process, when the build series for Wallace Branch began, I was doing scenery assets, little buildings that are mostly rectangular. Not that they're super low poly or anything, but they are pretty simple compared to putting together a locomotive and a locomotive cab. And what's complicated about the locomotive cab is not the sort of technical aspects of animating the levers and getting the config file to make the locomotive do what you want, getting the horns right. All those sorts of things are basically straightforward. I think the only really difficult thing, and what I've struggled with, but now I'm starting to get the hang of it, is the texturing of the actual items inside the cab. And same thing goes for baking the complex details on the locomotive. That took a while to master. Not that I've mastered it, but within reason. Yes, that is correct. Oops, yeah, we want to go backwards now. Okay, so I believe this is going to be a little challenging. What would be the best way to do this? It's weird that there's not a crossover in the correct direction here. I guess if I have to go around anyway, might as well go this way. Okay, so how about we here, this is Alan Alda, right? Yeah, wrong direction. Okay, what car is this? This is flat car bulkhead 26. So let's pause and then let's have you couple with hopefully that will work. Should work. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of that autopilot. It saves a little bit of steps, Okay, so you would like to go to drive via Smelter Yard Track 3, and then drive via Smelter Track 1. Right? Okay, this is looking very good. And then here we have our sand train, where we need to do a runaround. Now, one reason not to do this coupling like this is just that in the past I have experienced how sometimes these locomotives will hit very, very high speed. They don't seem to have good self-control. Yep, that looks good. Now I'm going to check the spreadsheet because we are already 42 minutes in, and I think there's more that needs to get done here, but I want to make sure we get as much done on the smelter side as possible. Okay, so we have 11 more to load at the smelter for the lead track, and I believe that we have 8 in that string, so probably we could here add 3 more. But we also need 10 silver and 17 zinc. So how many boxcars do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. But we definitely want to make sure we get all the lead that we need. Then that task will be done. It's always better to complete a task than to get multiple tasks sort of just partially done. Okay, so this is lead, and this is silver, right? Yes, this is silver. I believe the horn we're hearing in the background is Jessica with the SW1500, but I am not totally sure. So we're going to do 3 here. And Jessica is looking good. Now, in a few moments, I'm going to jet on over to the other side of the map because although we had mostly finished up with our work in Haugen, we still have a few loose ends with loading cement and basically clearing that off the map. And the Milwaukee can come into play just a little bit there. Okay, we've got the lead loading here. Jessica is, of course, coming with more cars to load. Seems like we have more than I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we actually have all 11 that we needed. I don't know why I miscounted. Does not matter in the slightest, though. So if we need 10 silver, this will be 6. So we need 4 more from Jessica's string. So not quite going to be able to make that. Oh, it's nice to see 2 trains in action at the same time. Overshot that slightly. Now, I'm a little bit concerned. I don't want Jessica to back in while these cars are still loading. So I think I'm just going to... I'm going to take control of Jessica briefly. And actually, because of these 2 general goods cars on the end, I'm going to just plop them on this other track briefly.
Detector milepost 118.0.
Now, what we just heard was the detector milepost for the west side of Lookout Pass, so the Burlington Northern Local is now off the pass. Should be arriving very shortly in Mullen.
18.0. No defects. Total axles 9. 2. Train speed 4. 5. mph. Detector out.
Yeah, I'm pretty darn sure this track can fit 11 cars. At least 11 cars, that is. Yeah, I wonder what would happen for a beta test if some of the MI2s did not work well. And also for beta testing, I have no idea what the other requirements might be. I'll just be open about that. If you've never done it before, there's a lot of stuff you're not going to know. I hope that doesn't interrupt their loading. Slight nudge. Seems like it should not. Not that heavy a train. I wouldn't think it would take so long to accelerate, but yeah, 900 tons. It's not lightweight either. So this train will just be going to Silverton bottles. And then that will actually finish up 2 tasks because it will have completed the picking up of sand and it will have completed the dropping off of sand. Will we stop on time? Looks like I'm gonna say yes. Barely. Caboose Operations does add a few extra steps, that's for sure. But I thought it would be quite a bit more difficult than it actually is. Ah, seems like I was running that switch. Weird. Yeah, let's get a little bit more clearance here. There we go. Yeah, like this little sign here, I really have my worries about polluting the DLS with little signs like that. They're obviously easy to upload. And I have seen that there are other asset creators that have uploaded just a huge number of these little signs that they're using on their route. I know it's not for any other reason than that. Elsinore says, "Good morning, Sir Tries and chat. Welcome. Good to see you again. Been a while." Alright, so we are ready to send you to Silverton Bottles. But first we have to drive to Smelter Yard Track 3, because otherwise you'll get blocked. Drive via Osborne, I think. Osborne, Maine. And then navigate to Silverton. Sand track. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's check and see where we've gotten to on our lead is good. Silver is underway, so I think we're gonna... Tasha Yar, you are not the priority today, right now. Actually, no, we don't need to, because we're gonna be... the other priority is to drop off these paper cars here. Okay, everything looks good. Now, with the other UP train going to Silverton, with the sand train going to Silverton, Tasha is not going to be able to get through the yard. That track will be blocked. But this is good, though, because we will still be able to handle a daily task. And I don't know if this track accepts fruit. No, it does not. So it doesn't matter whether we actually pull up here with the fruit train. That's good. That saves us a step of having to worry about where we stop on this track. Not a very heavy train, but still don't want to waste time. Elsinore says, I've been sleeping in. Gotten up early this morning to go to the store. Been watching the recordings on YouTube, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to believe we're at episode 16 now. I mean, it seems just yesterday that I finished the build series. Okay, now this is another task complete. Okay, that's good. Interesting how the switch reverted in that case. Now, sequencing, we'll still want to take Tasha out of the yard first before we can take the local up to Mullen. Let's just stop there. And let's just check to see where our NP local is located. Ah, it's already... Okay, so we're going to prioritize the today tasks, as should be the case. And I see that we do have some small issues, but not a big deal. Can just push back here. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Why is this not giving me control? No problem. We'll just have you get on the train again. Usually that will solve everything. So yeah, let's just make sure. I'll check the car tagger. So we've got 2 picking up general goods here, and then we've got 3 unloading bottles. So you might as well just unload the bottles first. And you can see we have a whole train of empties that at some point needs to go off the map, but not treating that as an actual task to be done. It is blocking us up slightly. And we are going down grade, so it takes a while to stop, especially since we have the concrete at at the end of this train. Although we have, 4 locomotives trying to stop this thing, so you'd think it would be not a big problem. It's okay, though. I've never actually done this before, pulling into an MI2 with 2 different types of cars, both of which cars it is actually capable of loading in theory. I'm not so interested in whether in theory it could actually do that. I'm more worried about what it will actually do. But if both of these tasks are lined up with this platform, I will count both of them as done, even if it actually takes 10 minutes for loading. So, because in principle, once we've left the cars here, we're done. No, it doesn't quite look like we're going to make it. So we can say that one of those 2 tasks has been done. But let's just decouple here. It is unloading the first car. It's good. Elsinore says, I keep forgetting I'm watching and not playing. Keep clicking on cars to get a closer look. Why won't this work? Oh yeah, I'm not playing. Yeah. I know I know the feeling. I know the feeling exactly. Or trying to rotate, rotate the camera view. NP track 1. Yeah, so we are unloading 2 cars now, but yeah, it's good. I wanted to go back and look at the cement track, but it's good to sort of continue on with what we were doing. So yeah, we'll just get that one lined up there. And then we'll have this Jessica. I think that this should load more like 5 cars. Stop it right there. Hopeful. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have Jessica just handle everything here and have this train go over to back to Smelter Yard track 3. I'll test that in a moment. And then navigate to BHS Goods. Yes, cars. Looks like both 3 and 4. Oh no, it's only 3 is available. And we got these 2 extra cars that can go back up to this smelter to finish off the silver. So we'll be able to get both the silver and the lead. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to take these units here. Okay, so now we have 2 concrete cars here, and we have 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3 and a half. So 5.5 cars, and I believe we need 4 more to go over the pass, and then the rest are going to go to... Aha. The rest are going to be going to Missoula. No, let's see. So yeah, I think we will have plenty of space to load 2 more. I'm not 100% sure. So probably what I will do, just since I'm not sure, is I will push these off onto the NP main line. So yeah, in terms of what we have gotten done today, I would say didn't do too badly. Got a lot of different things worked on. And of course, there were a couple of the urgent today tasks that got completed, or at least got loaded, let's say. So I'm looking forward to flashing on screen how many tasks I actually completed this turn, and but I won't have calculated that yet. Waiting another 15 minutes before I can get that calculated. So, in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next time on the Wallace branch.